A lot of people who admire your sound and they talk about your sound, they analyze it. Some wind up calling it Heartland Rock. Is that what you call it?
That's a bullshit name. Has nothing to do with the heartland, has nothing to do with rock. I mean, that's just, you know, there were a bunch of rock critics in the 70s and the 80s who set themselves up as judge and jury, and they had magazines like called Rolling Stone, and these guys acted as if they knew something that the rest of us didn't know. And I always resented that, that there was this elitist bunch of people who would review these records. I would read reviews of, you know, these great records like, you know, I remember reading the first review of Led Zeppelin. Rolling Stone just tore them apart. Said they were a shit band, and they, you know, they were just a cheap imitation of this other band, and you know, and it was just, it was too much of that, and so I learned a lot from some rock critics. I had one of my best friends was the editor of Billboard magazine and Rolling Stone. Oddly enough, for a while, he died. But I learned a lot from him and a couple of his friends and a couple other guys, but most of them, bullshit.
Yeah. Well, you do sing about small town life.
I have.
John Steinbeckian kind of characters, if you will. And you tell the stories. What stories are you trying to tell?
I'm not really trying to tell anything. I'm trying to, you know, if you want to tell a story, then tell a small one. Tell a small story. Something that doesn't really include me. I may say I in the song, but I'm not talking about me. I'm not that interesting of a guy. You know, I've got 500 songs published. I'm not interesting enough to have 500 songs written about myself. You know, and I don't know anybody that is. So, you know, you kind of, you know, I view life. I'm always watching people. I'm always making up a scenario about people that I see on the street. I make up a scenario about you. You know, anybody that I come in contact with. Wonder what this guy really, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking at, you know, you never really know anybody except their shadow self.
You're known for writing songs that resonate with what some people call, quote, conservative America or reactionary America, people on the right-hand side of the political spectrum. But were you ever worried that your lyrics of the songs might cost you something in the marketplace, or did you ever think about that?
I am the most liberal person you know. I told Obama to his face, I said, man, you're just not liberal enough for me. And this is when he was running for the first time I think it was in Boston. They had the Democratic National Convention, and I played at the convention.
I remember that.
And he gave that great speech, and I was talking to him, and I just said, hey, man, you're just not liberal enough. And, you know, so if I am relating to conservative listeners, they're not listening to the songs. You know, if your goal is to be as big and as popular and as famous as you can be, then you're in a different business than I'm in. That's not my goal. Now, I have, as I will quote my girlfriend, who said to me, John, we've already both been to the moon. We don't need to go there again. And she was right. I've been to the moon, and I found a bunch of deadbeats up there. I don't need to go back.